everybody. I said that already, but I'm going to say it again. Thank you for joining me. I'm aware that, there's so much going on in the world right now, and it's hard to know which of these types of things you should act on and go for. So I'm super excited to see you today, and I'm really grateful because, like me, some of you probably are homeschooling children. You may have got, jobs that you need to work on the weekends instead of during the week. You might have actually not got a job now, which is something we're going to help you with through this session. But I really appreciate your presence. So thank you so much. Can you all see each other? That's amazing. All right, hang on. What we should do is take a breath, right? Because all this is very exciting. So those of you new to online learning, welcome. Just place your hand on your chest for a second. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to breathe down through your body. So imagine that the air is actually energy and it's flowing down through your chest, into your abdominals, down through your pelvis, rolling down your legs, and out through the bottom of your feet. Breathing in again. Soaking up that beautiful, vital life force energy in the form of breath. And as you breathe out, let it flow down through your body, out through your legs, and out through your feet, anchoring yourself down into the ground with that beautiful, fresh, clean energy. And one more, breathing in. Relax, breathing out. Releasing all stress and tension. And letting your shoulders drop, your hands relax now into your lap or wherever is comfortable for you. And we will get started. This is a medical disclaimer. In brief, basically it says this is not something that you should stop your medications for. In fact, this process you're going to learn today works beautifully with any kind of medication and meditation, whether it be pain medication or antidepressants. So please don't go off your medication. This is not a substitute for visiting your physician, whether that be a doctor or a naturopath or a homeopath or a nurse or whatever, okay? So this is also telling you that this is a user technique that I'm giving you today for self-care. So whether you're a health professional or a person who is just curious and wants to know how to relieve stress, this is for you. You're welcome to share it amongst your family, but please understand it is a certificate course to teach this to other people and use it in practice. So this is for you today, okay? Hello and welcome. We've pretty much done this, but just a bit of housekeeping. Make sure you've got all your tabs closed, turn off the phone, put it on airplane mode or whatever it is that you need to do. I hope you've taken a minute to grab a cuppa, some water. I have actually been taking homeopathics. These ones are great. These are bush flower essences. I also use Bach flower essences, but these help me to stay focused and just, give a little bit of extra calm. I will talk very, very fast because I have got so much that I want to give you today. Obviously, it's too short for me to give you everything that I know and everything that I want to give you. So please, by all means, ask questions, but I will save those to the end of the session, or you can just write them down on a piece of paper as we go. If anything pops into your head, write them down on your paper and I'll do a Q&A at the end. For health professionals, I will be staying on for a bit longer. If you want more information about the certificate training, you can ask me that at the end as well. And if you can just now, let me know where you are in the world, because I know I've got people all over the place, all over the country, in fact, which is really cool. And there are a few people who registered from the States as well, which is awesome. Very exciting. What have we got? Wagamba, Sydney, Tamworth, Perth, Hervey Bay, Ipswich, Brisbane, Armidale. Oh my gosh, that's super exciting. I'm 2.5 hours north of Brisbane at the home of the Gympie Country Music Muster. I'm up there. Perth, Sunny Coast, Pacific Palms in New South Wales. This is very exciting. Cool. I want to tell you today there is absolutely no selling. You cannot buy anything from me. So I just want to say that up front because I know there's tons of webinars and information sessions and all sorts of things that are available to you at the moment. This is purely information, knowledge, and experience today. As I said though, because I'm aware that stress and anxiety is pretty much the lay of the land at the moment, I also want to acknowledge that some of you may want more information. I am a health professional, so if you want to talk to me about your specific situation, there is an opportunity for you at the very end to have a conversation with me. And health professionals, as I said, stay on because I've got some information and a plan where you can take things further if you really want to and if it resonates with you. Okie dokie. All right, Vermont in Melbourne. Oh my gosh, that's my old stomping ground. Hi, Carmen. Deanne, Paula, Narelle, Bronwyn, Karen, Jody, Stacey. Oh my gosh, so many people. This is not passive. I really want you to contribute here. This is why I'm doing a free workshop. Every being, no matter their current status in life, has the innate capacity to heal in any given moment, given the right circumstances. So what you're going to learn here today is Therapeutic Applied Percussion, or T.A.P. And T.A.P activates your potential. It offers people the opportunity to restore freedom, which gives you the ability to choose a different way of life. So that's why I'm here today. I am passionate about engaging and igniting people's capacity to heal. It's why I've done everything in my life and why I'm here with you today. So I'm not going to rabbit on about myself. We'll get straight into things in a sec. But lots of you don't actually know me. Many of you haven't worked with me before and you're new to this and to my work. So my official title is Performance Stress and Anxiety Breakthrough Coach, Intuitive Master Healer, and Holistic Registered Nurse. Now in Australia, this is a new thing. In the United States, it's a well-established practice. But basically it means we're interested in the mind, body, soul of a person. I use the term energy a lot though, so I'll go mind, body, energy, spirit. So I combine about 28 years of experience and at least 12 qualifications and a very diverse skill set in my work, but in short, I focus on holistic health and healing and well-being on all those levels that I mentioned before. I have sat on the advisory board for Polio Australia and on the global committee for nurse education of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a multi-systemic, it's a very complex disorder my son has, and I have, and a number of my family members as well. I have a Bachelor of Nursing, which came after all of my healing training. I've been in healing arts for about 30 years. I have certificates in matrix reimprinting with EFT tapping, mindfulness for peak performance, massage, music therapy, NLP, healing touch. I've trained directly with many other spiritual and scientific gurus, if you want to call them that, including Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, Credo Mutwa, who's the spiritual leader of the Zulu tribe. And I've also sat in private meditation sessions with people like John Cleese during lunch breaks in his Australian tour. I used to work in the entertainment industry before, well, actually it was side by side. I was doing healing work with my family's natural therapy center and training and all of these things. And I was working freelancing in the entertainment and television industry for about 15 years as well. So I'm a prolific researcher and creator. So I synthesize information. I gather information from multiple sources, mind, body, spirit sources, and I collate them and synthesize them and condense them into leveraged, practical, hands-on techniques. Therapeutic Applied Percussion is one of those that you're going to learn today. All right, so as I mentioned, I'm going to talk really, really fast. There's so much I want to share. I wish I had more time, but this is what we've got. As I said, we'll do live Q&A, and there's also special offers, as I mentioned, if you want to speak to me personally about further education training opportunities. All right, so what you'll learn today. In a nutshell, you're going to learn to ease suffering and create harmony in your mind, body, and energy field with one powerful but simple leveraged tool. As I said, it's all been synthesized. The second thing is I'm hoping to empower you to take charge of your own health and healing, understanding that you are in control of your body, mind, and spirit, and you have the power to ignite that healing whenever you choose to, especially when you know this process, which we'll do next. I'm also helping you through this process to restore your freedom of choice, as I mentioned. That is why I'm here. I believe everybody should have the freedom to choose the life they want. But as you'll discover down the track here, that's not possible given circumstances, which I'll go into further in a minute. As I said, therapeutic applied percussion today is all about acute self-care. Acute meaning, what's going on now? Let's deconstruct that and get you into a nice, calm, peaceful space as quickly as possible. I'm going to run real fast through this one because it's a little bit time consuming. So the origins and efficacy of tapping. Tapping really is the action that we use. It is not the technique. Therapeutic applied percussion is the technique I'll share with you today, but there are other tapping techniques. Who's done any kind of tapping modalities before? Paula has, yep. Jackie, yes, she has. Brooke has. With me, Corinne with me, yes, lots of you with me. Jackie has looked at emotional freedom technique, which I'll mention briefly, but that's another technique, another modality within this set of tapping modalities. The set is actually formed under a new science called energy psychology. This is cutting edge technology that is new. It is actual science based on quantum theory and epigenetics. So all of what I'm going to teach you today is scientifically proven. There is strong evidence-based research around tapping or percussion or rhythmic drumming in somatics and trauma therapy. There's also lots of percussion that happens within the allied health and medical field for assessment and also dislodging mucus, all sorts of things. Mucus, horrible word. Okay, so it's also a well-known self-regulation technique. Who here has heard of stimming? For those of you familiar with autism, it's a form of self-regulation. Pacing. Who paces? Anyone pace? Does anyone pace when they're stressed? Or wrap your fingers on the table and then you realize you're drumming your hand because somebody goes, stop that. Yes, pacing, rubbing, drumming, these are all very common and automatic responses to stress, to self-regulate. Therapeutic applied percussion has really solid foundations in Eastern medicine, Western sciences, music, anatomy, physiology, pathophysiology, mindfulness, meditation, trauma release, neurobiology, epigenetics. It's solid. So none of what I'm teaching you today is weird, woo-woo, or strange. It is all scientifically backed. So many of you have heard of a form of tapping before. But one of the things I found really frustrating with many techniques that help with stress and anxiety is that many of them require you to have a really strong level of cognizance to be able to alleviate your stress symptoms. As I'll show you in this session, TAP, or therapeutic applied percussion, works brilliantly because you don't have to think. The only amount of thinking you need to do is to notice that you're stressed. And then after that, it's just a case of remembering what I'm going to teach you today. So we're going to start right away with the process that is going to help you remember how to use TAP. So this is called the ACT process. It's a multidimensional process for transforming change in any area of your life. Everything from relieving health problems to manifesting more money. I apply it in all different areas of a thing called the Me Map, which I'll show you in a sec. It's a super powerful process that you need to know in order to consciously create a better reality, whatever that looks like to you. Now, that might be physical health, it might be mental well-being, it might be emotional triggering that you want to settle down, but you can also use it for spiritual connection, for enhancing your finances, for activating more personal growth, so many things. So we cover this in far more depth, and I give you lots of practical tools to use this in Sacred Energy Mastery programs, but we're not going to look at that today. Today I'll take you through TAP to relieve emotional and mental and physical distress in yourself. Let's do this. So it's really, really important to acknowledge where we are at right now. This is the first step in any kind of healing or health process. You have to acknowledge where you're at, to accept it and then allow it to be this way temporarily. Okay, we're just going to allow that we're stressed for a second. Then once we notice and we're honest with ourselves, we can move forward. But until you acknowledge that there's a problem, you cannot possibly change. So those of you who are here today, you're either acknowledging that you're feeling stressed and anxious, or you're acknowledging that you are wanting to help others around you who you care for to manage their stress and anxiety and distress, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So radical honesty is required here. It's fundamental. So this is the me map. I developed this me map through my nursing studies. I then tested it on myself, my family, and then eventually on my clients. It's a holistic model that's based on a whole bunch of things, which I won't go into right now. But it's a holistic model for personal evolution and lifestyle sustainability, because the bottom line is we're never 100% balanced. I think it's funny how everybody's running around going, yay, let's be balanced. Let's get everything exactly balanced. I've got news for everyone. I'm really sorry to say, there's good news and bad news, right? I'm sorry to say there is no such thing as ever being 100% balanced. So I want you to strike that, get that out of your head right now. What we are, though, is 100% always in the act of balancing. We're always in the act of finding our perfect complement, our perfect composition of harmony within ourselves and our lives that is going to bring us closer to feeling good, to encouraging more goodness into our life. But you're never, ever, ever going to be 100% balanced. So take the pressure off yourselves. You know, the positive mindset movement is wonderful, but it pushes people to strive for something that's not actually achievable. You can get bloody close. The me map allows you to harmonize all the different aspects of your life in the right flow for you, not for anybody else. That's why it's holistic. It's about you and what's right for you. We use the me map throughout all of my programs, but in this one, because we've got a short amount of time, I'm going to assume that the two petals that we're working on for you today is the mindset and manifestation and the energy and emotion. And the fact is, people who work with me originally come in with those two things a little bit out of whack. And when we bring those two into a much more positive state of being, it's then very easy for us to affect greater change in all the other aspects of the me map. So the other thing that it's really important to do right now is acknowledge that you made it here today. So I want you to say, congratulations, pat on the back, because it takes guts to show up. It does. It takes guts and commitment to yourself. And then from there, it takes your commitment to yourself is then going to have a ripple effect out into your family and into your friends and your neighborhood and your community and the people you care for. And if you're a leader in the community, whether you're a health professional, it doesn't really matter, a team leader within your workplace, in a corporate environment, I'm so grateful to you, because it takes people willing to show up and do their own personal work, and then to have the guts to take that into the workplace. Because believe me, that is not easy. And this is confronting for me. You know, I've been a holistic nurse before there was such a thing. And for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been educating and bringing people to the awareness of the mind, body, and the third element, which is your energy field, and bringing the whole lot together. And you can cop quite a lot of flack for that in certain spaces. This time, I want you to breathe in. And this time, I want you to imagine that you're smiling into your heart. So that little smile that's on your face, I want you to let it travel down to your heart and feel good about yourself. Closing your eyes, breathe in, and with that breath, travel that smile, the feeling of that smile. Let it smile all the way down into your chest and into your heart. And I want you to smile at your heart. And just imagine talking to your heart and go, hey heart, long time no see. I've missed you. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for letting me show up. Honor your heart. The heart is at the core of everything. Breathing in, smiling into your heart. Breathing out now, and I want you to spread that smile into your field. So send that smile from your heart in a bit of a radiating sort of rays of light, if you like, if you're visual. And send that smile into all the little cells so that your cells are receiving that smile. And I want you to say in your mind, thank you, cells. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for functioning so well. Thank you for healing me. Thank you for everything you do to help me to be me. Breathing in again. And this time on the outward breath, I want you to send that smile into your energy field. Smiling out, radiating into your energy. Above, below, to the front, to the back. All directions, so that you're standing in the very center. You are the very center of one giant sphere of smiling. The energy of smiling. Feel how good that feels. And when you're ready, just open your eyes again. Okay. Feel free to type in the chat box. Did you get it? Did you feel the smile? Or was it just a thought, a thinking of smiling? There's a big difference between thinking that you're smiling and feeling the smile. Feeling, awesome, Corinne. That was cool. Thanks, Stacey. All right, now, before you came on to this call, you may have felt a little bit more wired than you feel now. But I want you to think back, because what we're going to do is we're going to rate each one of these petals. The first petal, the mindset and manifestation. So on a scale of 0 being I feel amazing and aligned and in my heart and my head's calm and settled, and 10 is off the charts, mentally screwed up, messy, chaotic, negative in your head, right? Your mindset we're looking at. So scale it 0 to 10. 10 is extremely chaotic in my head, and 0 is I feel very calm and settled and wonderful in my head all the time. But remembering that you're never at 0, because we're always in the act of balancing. So just note that down. So this is for your mindset. Give it a number from 0 to 10. And then I want you to do the same for your energy and emotion. Before you came onto this call, how are you feeling in your energy and your emotion? Did you feel at 0, calm, relaxed, easy, settled, wonderful, warm, compassionate, and loving? Or 10, scattered, fragmented, fractious, irritable, anxious, messy, stressed out, not good. 0 is feel good, 10 is feel crap, for want of a better description. All right, thank you for commenting. Here we go. So Camille felt the heart thingy, Karen felt it wash over you, good. And by the way, doing these processes in a group like this is way more powerful, because you're all focused on the same intention, the same energy. You create the energy pattern of the thing that we're doing. So coming up live is so powerful. And even if you're watching this later, you still get the sense of it. Okay, so Camille was a 6 for mind, I think. Stacey, Monday to Friday, 9. Okay. All right, Stacey. So this is going to be good for you to take back to work. Today is a 5. All right. 7, Camille's an energy. 9 for Amanda, 9 for both. All right, awesome. So next, mind is 8, energy's 9. Thank you for commenting, you guys. I really appreciate it. Helps me to help you a little bit easier. So now that you've got your number, you'll be able to see which phase of the holistic health and healing model you're actually sitting in both of those petals. So looking at your mindset first, what number was your mindset? And what phase are you in with your mindset right now? There's no judgment here, by the way, because life is a process, not a destination. It's an evolution. So you are always evolving. You are always in the act of swimming between these 4 phases of healing in order to achieve harmony and get as close to balance as you can in each of those petals of the me map. So holistic healing and health is really about recovery and a return to a reasonable, acceptable state of well-being for you. And then, in my opinion, taking that reasonable, acceptable level and taking it higher and higher and higher, going way past acceptable, way past survival and into thriving. And I have worked my butt off over the last 12 years to get to that point. For those of you who don't know, I was in a chronic state of mental, physical and emotional destruction. When I started my nursing degree, and then a year into that I had my first child, and then another year into that I had my second child. I had a relationship collapse during that time while I was studying, and I had significant PTSD, postnatal depression, generalized anxiety disorder. I put on 35 kilograms throughout my studies and into my children's early life. And I probably only started to come out of that while they were, I think, about 4. So from that moment onwards, I decided that I needed to shift and fix things. And all of what you're seeing here today is a result of the destruction that my life was. And the reason that I'm here, because if it weren't for that, and I would not give any of it back. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't be able to be here with you today. So I'm grateful for everything that I went through, even though it was hideous and I would hate to go back. But you don't have to stay there. And this is the first step, okay? I don't want anybody to ever have to stay in that darkness. It's totally doable to get out of there, and not just get out and feel okay, but get out and take your life to new heights of awesome, and then be able to give back. You know, I believe that's what it's all about. But here's what I want to say about these 4 phases of healing. You get to mastery, and then, dun, 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 just when you think you've made it, you hit a new level. You go deeper, and you have to get through some more interesting sludge, and that takes you even higher than you've ever been before. This is, as I said, a circular or a spiral process of deepening your understanding of who you are and what you're capable of, and raising your capacity to new levels of really, really cool. So once you hit mastery, be prepared. There's another level of messy coming, which I love. I look forward to the messy now because I know I'm about to make a massive leap forward. Camille, that fits. I feel mindful, aware of what I'm feeling and thinking, even if it isn't always great. Yeah, good. So being aware is the first step. Then you've got to actually do something to change it, right? Because all the awareness in the world is no good if you're not actually making the steps to change things. Mindfulness is definitely a positive first step. Spiral process, Fibonacci sequence, exactly. Oh my gosh, you get it. It is exactly based on sacred geometry. Everything that I do is based on sacred geometry. So there you go. Well done, Maria. All right, let's keep going. This 4 phases of healing, it's not about judging, it's about seeing, right? Acknowledging with radical honesty, where are you really? And if you're feeling a bit nervous about posting in the chat box, that's okay. But just write it down so you know. And now that you know, you can change it. This is about reclaiming your strength, your personal power, and learning to make choices that bring you into or closer to zero, closer to balanced, closer to alignment. Karen's messy. Oh, darling. Mwah. It's just a cycle. It's just a cycle. Regardless of what your biggest sticking point is, it is likely that, like I was back in the day, underneath all of the stuff that's going on, the real issue is the energy that you're working with. And this, in my opinion, is the disease that we really need to fight next. Fear and stress. This disease, if you like, or otherwise known as dis-ease, has been really underneath all chronic illnesses that I've researched. I originally did a ton of research into the stress response and trauma, buried trauma, and how that affects the progression of chronic illness. Firstly, in an attempt to get myself out of it, then in an attempt to get my family out of it, and now to help clients. And that's what I do with what I've learned and what I've developed. There are lots of thoughts that go along with fear and stress. If you've been feeling messy and mindful, what sorts of thoughts have been going on in your head? There might be thoughts like, especially if we're looking at people who have lost their jobs during this period, or have too much to do. If you're a health leader and you're still working, maybe there's too much going on around you. But either way, there might be some fear and stress going on, like perhaps, when is this going to end? I can't get through this. What if I can't get another job? I don't know how I'm going to handle all this work. What if the money runs out? When is this money going to arrive? If it's from the government, how am I going to find another job? There's too much pressure. Perhaps, what's the point of even bothering? Lack of motivation. Maria says, I don't know enough. Yeah, that's a big one. I battle that one a lot myself as well. But you know what? You know more than the majority of the people that you're looking after most of the time if you're a health professional. So you know plenty. We're always 1 or 2 steps ahead of the people that we're caring for, usually. Jackie says, afraid of disappointing others. Yeah, big one. I do know I've enough to help and I really can do this. That's beautiful. Yeah. We have to keep talking to ourselves. Camille is afraid of loss of human rights, where we're headed. Yeah, and that's actually called eco-anxiety, fear of the economy or the ecosystem that we find ourselves in. And those of us who struggled through the Australian bushfires, there was a huge amount of eco-anxiety around the future and the pollution and the chronic respiratory issues that were coming in. Now the eco-anxiety is centered around the anxiety of the future in terms of the economy and the control state and infringement on our civil liberties and our sovereignty. Those are very real concerns. However, the fear of those things is not helping. The fear is contributing to the global epidemic of stress. So it is so important that all of us on this call and all the people that get our own fear and stress under control so that we can be strong and calm when we need to be for those who don't have these kinds of skills. Same to go back to work. Will the clients come back? Yes, some of you are massage therapists and have not been able to work. Jackie says too much on, not enough time to rest, uncertainty, fear, who to trust, who to believe, not achieving things, going around in circles. Yeah, it's pretty freaking awful inside there when you pay attention, isn't it? Hopefully some of you have got a little bit of a balance or an active balancing happening. But if we tune in to the collective fear, it's going to take us down. So it's so important that you learn what is your energy doing and be able to control and manage your emotional energy and your mindset so that you don't buy into the collective dramas and the collective fears. I'm not saying those fears are not real. They are real, and there's good reason for them. But the fear, for those of you who know about physiology of stress, when you're in fear state, you cannot think. When you're in a fear state, you shut down the parts of your brain that are creative and innovative, that could actually have solutions and new ideas. When you're in a fear and stress state, you shut down from your intuition that could be giving you extra, little bits of guidance and help. Yeah. So you've got to overcome the fear. Here's the thing though, I also know that if you're here today, you're probably actually excited a little bit about the possibility of a new way to feel better. Who's a yes with that one? Did you show up today going, yay, this is something new that's going to help me, that's going to help my clients, I'm going to get something out of this? Who was in that boat? So you might probably want to help yourself as well, but you're probably also a heartfelt and conscious, either a team leader or a health professional who feels passionate and driven to make life better for those in your care. So that excites me, and I'm really glad you're here. Which are you? Drop in the box. Are you an individual wanting to help yourself, or are you a leader helping self and others? Just let me know. And what industry too? What industries are you all in? Yes, yes, yes. Both. Good. You guys obviously understand you've got to look after yourselves. So here's what I want to tell you now. It's not enough for you to know this tool. Please understand you have to know the tool, and then you have to pick it up and actually use it. It's a hammer, no good to have a hammer if you leave it on the table when the nail's on the wall. Just imagine, therapeutic applied percussion is great. But if you leave it sitting in your knowledge banks and you don't actually use it when you're stressed or anxious or fearful, it's useless. You have to use it. You pick up the hammer and you bash the nail into the wall. You don't just leave the hammer and expect the nail to slide in on its own. If you decide to commit to changing your life, this is where it can start. Let's do an exercise. These are the recognized medical signs of stress response. Just look at those and mentally just note, how many of those are you experiencing recently? So just noting, how many of those you had? I had 90% of these in 2012 at the peak of my illness. It was hideous. At that point, I did actually want to take my own life. For those of you who, I think, Maria, you're the only one here who was studying with me at the time. Nobody knew that I was suicidal in 2010, 2012. In 2012, I decided that I was going to live because my children needed me, and I would be damned if this thing was going to beat me. So it can be really bad. And if you do have those kinds of thoughts, please make sure you call Lifeline immediately. That's nothing to be joking about. Go and see your doctor. If necessary, go on antidepressants, but just know that you can get off them as well. I went on antidepressants for a short time, about a year, and I made a promise to myself that I would get off them and I would find ways to heal. And this is one of those ways. 18 of them, Amanda. Oh, I'm so sorry, honey, but this is good. You're in the right place. Scary, huh? When you break it down, but you don't have to be afraid because you're here now. Did any of these surprise you? And perhaps there's others that you've been experiencing too. I'm going to show you how to relieve those in minutes. If they persist though, it's likely you have something else deeper going on. It's likely that the COVID-19 stuff or your current situation has triggered some trauma or deep stress events that have been hiding in your subconscious, and you should definitely consider going on to do some more self-development work, spiritual development work, or turn to your trusted health professional to uncover what that is and clear it out of the way. And trust me, it doesn't have to be as long and drawn out as you would think. Energy psychology techniques are, wow, they're powerful and fast. So some people are recovering from trauma, and a lot of my clients have recovered in less than 3 sessions from some pretty serious states of being, and continuing to improve. Those of you who are on the line, some of you have had those sessions and understand how that works. The origins of stress/trauma are, number one, hereditary and historical, either from a predisposition or something that you've brought in epigenetically. Number two is environmental factors, both internal, your internal gut health, internal mindset, plus external environments like excess Wi-Fi, 5G, pollution, actual colds, viruses, bacteria. 3 is lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle are you living? This includes childhood trauma, because your lifestyle is governed by the childhood experiences that you have, unless you've done significant work to turn that around on purpose. And number 4 is personality traits. some people are more susceptible to stress and anxiety than others. The way that you're born. I'm an empath, full-blown freaking empath. I absorb everything. But because I know that now, and I've been working with energy for 30 years, I understand, and I teach people how to do this, how to know what's my energy. And I know how to clear my energy of other people's stuff. And I know how to tune other people's stuff out of my energy field now. And I teach my clients to do this because you have to know, especially at the moment when we've got this blanket of stress and fear in the collective consciousness. If you're a sensitive person, deeply emotional and feeling and caring, you're likely to be an empath and accidentally absorbing other people's shite. Sorry to say. All right, so mind the gap. I've talked about my journey through this, so I won't go into this, but I did notice a gap, a huge gap. You go to the doctor or the psychologist to deal with your stress and anxiety, and then you go home. And then what? There's really nothing in the middle there. So then you go back and you go, this isn't working. I don't feel good. I don't know what to do. And they go, oh, well, here, take this drug, or here, we'll go through this cognitive behavioral therapy in this session today. And I'm sorry, your time's up. And then you go home. This was my experience, and it was shocking because there was nothing, there was no help, and I had to figure it all out myself. There's very limited education. Fortunately, this is changing. In the last 5 to 3 years, this is changing. And there are a lot of people now who are understanding that you've got to deal with mind, body, and energy to bring about recovery of any kind. You must. But here's the thing, 90% of all GP visits are stress related, 90%. And 50% of Australians suffer with chronic pain. T.A.P can be used for chronic pain, but I'm not able to show you that in this session today. Because of my experiences, I'm passionate about prevention. This is what this is about for me. Yes, I'm going to teach you how to de-escalate your stress, but I want you to be preventing further stress. I want you to be preventing further illness. I want you to stay out of the healthcare system because it's not fun. So here's how we're going to do it. The first thing I realized that had to be done was that first I had to create a thing that was going to fix me. I had to figure it out for myself. So I did all that research and I created many tools, but T.A.P is one of those. I needed something that was free to use, that didn't cost a bomb for people to go and learn, that anybody could do, that was effectively universal, that was effective and efficient and no medication. Because meds, whilst they're helpful in the short term, they have long-term chronic toxicity problems and side effects. So then the second thing I had to do was empower and teach people how to do it so that you could teach yourselves how to take charge of your own well-being anywhere, anytime. And this is what T.A.P is going to help you to do today. And the third thing that I decided necessary to do was I couldn't reach enough people. So I need to train people in T.A.P, in acute care and also intuitive transformation therapy in order to get to more of the general public with these techniques so that more people can feel better. So the solution is here. Just going to check the chat. Here we go. Yes, Corinne, never worked out if what's yours or someone else's. Yeah, it's tough. It's a process of learning. It takes a while to practice. Jacqueline needs a toolbox of techniques to take home from sessions. Absolutely. That's what I give my clients now, because it's a moment by moment thing that people need to do, not just a one-off every 4 to 6 weeks. Maria says it seems to be everybody's experience, and I've started telling patients to take control of their treatments and healing. This is the key. We have to empower people to do this, and this is what T.A.P can do for your clients. It's like psychological medical treatment. It is. And in the logo, it says it's like CPR for your nervous system. That is exactly what it is. Exactly. She gets it. Okay. So who can use T.A.P? Anywhere, anytime, everyone. Anybody can use this. The reason it's a certificate course is because there are some contraindications. There aren't very many, There are very, very few, in fact, contraindications, but I go into that in the certificate course for those who want to go further and teach others how to do this. Babies and kids respond particularly well to this, so you can use it with your family. What does T.A.P do? Well, we've talked about that, so I'm not going to go into that. T.A.P benefits mind, body, spirit. You'll see this in the replay, but you can see that it's basically an antidote to all those symptoms that you had before. Okay, let's do it. Enough chit chat. We're going to use the process now. So I like to think of therapeutic applied percussion as a 3-part harmony. We are harmonizing our system using part 1, the melody, which is your heart breathing. It's breath of life. It's the energy component. The second part to this musical harmony within yourself is the lyrics. To any part, any music, you need lyrics, right? So there's a mantra that I give you. So we start breathing, and then we have a mantra that we layer into it. And then the third part is the rhythm, which is the tapping component, the action, more tangible action. And what we're doing is creating a flow between those 3 elements. But as I said before, the way to remember this is the ACT process. You acknowledge what's going on. First and foremost, you must be aware of what's going on and allow yourself to have those feelings. Accept them. Tell your body and your heart and your mind, I hear you. Thank you for letting me know. Now I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to use T.A.P and I'm going to help you. Talk to your body as if it's a person. I do all the time. My brain sometimes behaves like a wayward toddler, running away with itself. And I'm like, come on, that's not where we're going. Right now we're going to tap, okay? We're just going to come over here, close your eyes. I get that you're scared. Now we're going to do this process. So today I'm going to teach you the default position. There are nuances to this, such as surrogate tapping, there's positive tapping, there's secret finger tapping, there is tapping for pain. But today I just want you to learn the default position. When you don't know what else to do, this is what to do. The first thing is to bring your awareness into your chest, like I've already showed you. So all you need to do is acknowledge that you've got a problem, that you're stressed, you're fearful, you're anxious. That's the thing, key. Then just take a minute, close your eyes, put your hand on your heart and breathe. And as you breathe, you're just going to start with 3 long, deep breaths, like I've already showed you. And then we're going to change the nature of the breath. Now what I want you to do is imagine breathing a funnel of air directly into the center of your heart. So you're breathing air. Feel the feeling, like a smile. Feel the feeling of the breath flowing into your heart directly through the chest wall. And this takes practice, so don't worry if you don't get it straight up. Closing your eyes if that's easier. Breathing in, funnel of energy into the center of your chest. And let that funnel of air move all the way down, down, down into the center of your chest. Good. Breathing in, allowing yourself to breathe and be still. Now we're going to layer in part 2, the second part, which is our mantra, our lyrics. And in your mind, you're going to repeat the word relax as you breathe in to your chest and release from your chest out into the atmosphere. Breathing into your heart. Relax. It's like you're talking to your heart. Relax, heart. It's okay. Breathe in, relax. And on the outward breath now, you breathe out. Release. Good. We've got the breathing, the melody, breathing in, relax, breathing out, release in your mind. Great. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. Our minds do that. We're not here to stop our thoughts. We're here to wrangle them. So just notice that you've drifted off on a thought train and you can talk to your brain. It's okay, I'm here. Right now we're breathing. And bring your attention back into the center of your chest. Breathing in, relax. Breathing out, release through your chest. Part 3, the rhythm. You're going to begin to tap on your chest. Now you can tap either on your thymus gland, or your high heart, just at the top here, below your collarbone, in the middle of your sternum, or you can tap where your heart is, so just a bit further down. It depends where the pressure is, yeah? It's up to you, wherever you feel comfortable. This is your default position. So now we've brought together the breathing in, the mantra, relax and release, and we've added the rhythm, the tap. And we're going to do all 3 together, but we're going to do it slowly. So you might have started tapping a little bit too quickly. I want you to just slow that down. I'm going to put it all together now for you. It goes something like this. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, relax, hold, breathe out, release. Breathe into your heart, relax. Breathe out, release. Keep going. Doing good. Now I want you to slow it down even more. Slow the rhythm. Slow it down. Count more slowly if that helps. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, release. Breathing in through the chest, relax in your mind. Breathing out from the chest, release back into the atmosphere as you tap. Good. All right. And if you feel a little more settled, you can stop at any time. But the idea with this process is to keep going until you feel your system unravel and unwind. The world can wait. You are important. You are necessary. You are here. You are now. Relax. Release. And when you've finished, I like to just conclude with another really deep, settling, anchoring breath, breathing in, filling up your lungs completely, and breathing out, down through your body, out through your feet, and into the earth. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Just let me know how you go, how you went with that. And if you like, you can re-rate yourself. So just getting a sense of how you feel now. 0 being I feel blissful. 10 is off the charts, messed up. So just give yourself a number. Jody, beautiful as always. Kristy, thank you. Can't wait to do it with your daughter. Good. I love it when people use it with their kids. It makes me so happy. Great. Corinne's out of 5. So you may have noticed that the number has come down. If it hasn't, then you need to keep going because it will. So notice, has your number come down? Stacey's has come down. Amanda, I think, has come down. I can't remember what yours was, Amanda. Karen, feeling so much better. Good, honey. In the 4s for Camille. Amanda's was a 9. That's a good result. Excellent. Jackie, love the breathing. Time to switch off the brain. Good. So the beautiful thing about this is that you can do it guided like I've just done. And if you're a health professional, I teach you how to do this and you have a script. But if you are out in public, you need to practice this at home all the time. The minute you notice you're stressed, use T.A.P, because when you then go out into public or you're in a stressful situation at work or you're in the middle of a supermarket and you lose your shit, has happened, you have this already ingrained in your brain. It's so automatic because you've been practicing it all the time at home. So you get this stress response kick in and you automatically go, oh my God, I'm stressed. The minute you notice you're stressed, hand on the chest, start breathing into your chest, kick in the mantra, part 2, kick in the tapping, part 3. And it is amazing how fast you can de-escalate yourself from a serious stress response, panic attack, anxiety, pain flare-up in the moment when you need it out in public or at home if you're trapped at home with kids. And I am so grateful for this technique. This was a divine inspired download from spirit, if you like, or my intuition after years and years of research and hashing it out, looking for the answer. This is the acute self-care answer. No meds, and you can use it when you are on meds as well, because when you do come off the meds, if you're able to do that with your doctor. But when you do come off the meds, you can use this to self-regulate during the weaning period as well. All right, so everyone's feeling a bit better. Do you think you can use this in daily life? That is key. Give me a yes or no. Do you think you're going to be able to use it? Yes, 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 100%. Cool. Yes, just to have to learn to pick it up more. Sticky notes are your best friend. I have sticky notes all over my office. I would show you. I've got boards and notes and stuff everywhere to remind me to do it, because we're all human. And when you're in a stress response, as I said earlier, you can't think. So the key is to train yourself to do this automatically, and you need the visual training while you're practicing. I do it so automatically now, I don't even need to actually tap for more than about a minute these days. The minute I use it, my whole body, mind, spirit goes, oh, that's right, we're relaxing. Okay, I'm there. The more you use it, the faster it works. The more you use it, the faster it works. Write that down. The more I use the tool, the faster it works. Okay, Maria, I can use this in the emergency department for hyperventilating patients and children. Hell yes. You just need to do the CERT course though, honey. I've used something similar on a 9-year-old, just intuitively touching the chest and asking to breathe into your hand. That's beautiful too. Yeah, good. Technique gives me wings. Yay. This is my wish. This is my whole reason for everything, is to just get this out to the public. All right, so if you are an individual and you're not interested in going further, you now have an amazing, powerful, very effective tool to use in your daily life. And if this is where we part ways, I want to thank you so much, because when you look after yourself, you change the world. There is no doubt about that. And please pass the word. I will be doing more of these free workshops as we go forward. But if you want to know a little bit more, so if you go to My Holistic Nurse business page, you'll find the link to the group, or it's www.facebook.com/groups/My Soul Shine Family. So it's a free group. Jacqueline says it's a lot simpler than EFT tapping, so it's great and easy for kids. That's the point. EFT tapping is amazing, and I use it with my private clients and my breakthrough work because it is fantastic for the deep rewiring. However, what I found was difficult, Jackie, was that people can't think when they're stressed, as I said. So people need something that they can use instantly when they can't think. That's the gap, right? It's all very well to have a therapist with you to guide you through. That's fine. But if you don't have the capacity to decrease your stress levels in the first place, how are you even going to know what it is that you need to work on? Yeah, so this is amazing for kids, amazing for the elderly, and the population in the middle, what I call the in-betweeners, because the in-betweeners in my generation and the one below, we grew up in highly traumatizing environments. No fault of our parents, but the societal construct at the time was very much children should be seen and not heard. You just have to push through. You have to, follow this goal-setting, masculine, go from A to Z at 1,000%. And girls were taught that they could do everything and anything, which put enormous pressure on the women. And then that put enormous pressure on the men because they were like, well, if the women have this going on, well, they don't need me. And so we grew up in a society that was very patriarchal and very control dominated and very, very linear. So it's important to bring that back into balance because empaths or sensitive people who are highly, deeply emotional were taught that that was bad and wrong. And boys especially were taught that that was bad and wrong. So I'm all about turning that around, helping people to understand that emotion is just as important as mindset when you're looking at transforming things. Kristy Lee Rackham.as.me/me map clarity chat. And that'll take you to my calendar. So that's if you're an individual. If you're a health leader, please stay on the line. I'll show you what to do for that. It's a /, is it? It is too. Whoops. Forwards, backwards, yeah. Just put some slashes in and see where you end up. If you're a professional and you want to know more, TAP is really relevant for first responders, people in the front line in primary health, nurses, paramedics, emergency personnel, health practice receptionists, especially health practice receptionists at the moment. Poor things are copying it. If you're a coach, a counsellor or a psychologist and you're treating clients either one-on-one or in groups, allied health practitioners, massage therapists, coaches, social workers, doctors, psychologists, energy healers, all of the above. If you're also responsible for a team, if you're not in the health industry, but your staff or your team are struggling, this is for you as well. If you need to maintain harmonious, collaborative, low-stress environment, you need to do the CERT training. Managers, school principals, team leaders, and also if you're guiding or caring for others in the public, if you're a social worker, disability worker, this would be really useful for your people as well. So educators in childcare, early intervention, schools, aged care, dementia care, parents, all of those sorts of things as well. But if you are going to use it just with your kids, perfectly fine, go right ahead. But if you do want to train others and guide other people in this process, you will need to talk to me. So professionally, it does integrate seamlessly into all those things I just mentioned. And there is an on-body practice as well. So if you're a massage therapist or a physio, you can apply this technique on the body as well as off the body in a guided process, like the meditation we did. You will find that it helps to improve staff and client retention. It improves their productivity. It improves health outcomes for your clients and work outcomes for your staff. You have the opportunity to lead from the cutting edge in health and healing. As I said, energy psychology is a new cutting edge group of techniques that is going to really change the landscape of health. It's already changing it, but in the next 2 to 5 years, you're going to see it completely transform things. You can learn to apply TAP for surrogate and remote energy psychology. So I work actually online and over the phone. I don't see in-person clients at all, except when I'm doing in-person workshops. So all of my work is done over the phone in a telehealth setting. So if you're wanting to learn to guide people in a one-on-one session, there's a deeper aspect called TAP, Intuitive Transformation Therapy, which is recalibrating the undercurrent. If you have any questions, I'm willing and able to stay around. So if you want more info for health leaders and team leaders, you can go to this free group. The free group there is facebook.com groups TAP leaders, or Therapeutic Applied Percussion for health leaders. You'll find it as well if you're just doing the search. And you can also book a free call with me now as well. Go to www.kristyleerackham.as.me/TAP provider. If you would like to find out more about the training courses that I have available to become an acute care provider and also a deep transformation provider as well. So, questions. Is that the group for the CERT training? Yeah. So all my health leaders have gathered in one place because I want you to be able to freely ask questions and get to know the process before you even think about training in it. Bye, Narelle. Bye, Scott. You've done the free introduction experiential workshop today. I'll be running more of these for sure. The acute care workshop is the short course. When I say short, it's short but deep. That's so that you can do the acute care and provide that to your people. And after that, you're certified for that. You can get insurance through your insurance company, should accept it under your health provision because it's a guided meditation process. So within nurses, I know that it's a guided self-regulatory process. You should be able to get insurance for that under your existing insurance company. If you're a massage therapist, you should be able to get it. I don't see why not. Any energy psychology associations and insurers will do it. Aon, I've got confirmation from Aon, AON, that they are insuring, so it's great. Maria, thank you, Kristy. This has been really great. I'm so pleased to see you. Thank you so much for coming. So nice to connect. Yeah, just make sure you book that call. My books are pretty heavily chockers at the moment because obviously lots of people are stressed and anxious. So if you want to get in to have a chat about everything, you can ask further questions on that session as well. I'll announce the dates for the intuitive transformation technique after that. But the two can work together. So if you're keen to do the entire thing, the entire program, and reach practitioner status to be able to offer one-on-one coaching, healing sessions, either online or on the phone, if that's something you're looking at because you don't want to massage anymore, or you've realized through this period of downtime that you want to change direction or enhance your skill set and offer more to your clients, you might like to look at doing the full program rather than just the acute care. So the two slot together. If you're going to do the intuitive transformation, you will need to do the acute care anyway. Okay, I think that's about it. I've all talked your head off. Does anybody have any last minute questions? I need a drink of water while you tap something. Tap something, type something. Okay, so who's keen to learn more? Camille is, yes. Maria, looking for the acute care link to enroll. So do the call, Maria. Here you go. There's the links again. I'm going to stop share. Hi, here I am on full screen, my pretty face. Copy that and paste it into your address bar. It'll take you to my calendar and you can book to chat with me further about the courses and things. And if you're an individual and you want to talk to me about training courses and coaching and healing for individuals, you can go to this one.
You know, I think that this COVID thing has just done amazing stuff for our abilities to use the internet. Everyone is just online,
everyone's on it.
The social connection, these things, like everything is just exponentially gone out there. It's just so exciting.
It is. It's really, really good. The other thing is though that it's really forcing people to wake up to what's important. And what I'm seeing is people really waking up to what matters, who's important, what are their values, where are their boundaries,
Yeah, I agree. It's given people a chance to step back and go, wow, we've been just running around like crazy fools. Let's just
Yeah.
step back and take a breath and reassess.
Yeah. And latent people with the in-betweeners, again, a lot of people hadn't even realized that they had a lot of worry, stress and anxiety and fear until this, and it's triggered all of that hidden and latent stress events and traumas that's sitting under the surface, which enables them to get help, enables them to start to transform their reality and find a different way of doing life, a much more whole and loving way of doing life. And it's going to be a big process, but I think it's for the good of humankind that this is happening.
I agree. As much as there's a terrible downside, there's also this brilliant upside.
I say in my book, there's always an upside to the upside down. I do have a book for those of you interested as well. It's called Headspace. I wrote it while I was a nursing student. Thank you to those of you who were on live, and for those watching the replay, I hope you've enjoyed the process today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at myholisticnurseaustralia@gmail.com, and we're only too happy to answer your question. Thank you so much.